Yo, welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna get straight to it. Let's not talk about last week. I absolutely fumbled the bag. Alright? I don't want to talk about it. But I will say, fighting nerds to the moon. Alright, let's get into this. Today I want to talk about UFC 306 rehot season. NOCHE UFC. I don't know. Yeah, that's a tongue twister. But anyways, so what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about two fights. I want to talk about Sean O'Malley and Merab. And I want to talk about Diego Lopes and Brian Ortega. Those are very exciting fights. The only good fights on the card. I'm gonna be honest with you, in my personal opinion. Grosso, that one's a good one too. Trilogy fight. I'll talk about that later when I do my predictions. This is an early prediction. Just talk about it, see how I feel about it, and then I'll get my main picks in that week before. And yeah, I just wanna talk about the outcomes of each fight. Of Marab wins, what happens? If Sean wins, what happens? If when Diego Lopes wins, what's the outcome after that? And if Brian Ortega, what happens after that? That's literally all I want to talk about. And I want to talk about some couple other things. UFC Dana White Contender Series. I want to talk about that a little bit as well. And let's get straight into it. Let's get into the main event. Okay, we have Sean O'Malley versus Marab. And I am a Sean fan. I've been a Sean fan for a while. I think he's going to win regardless if I'm a fan or not, to be honest with you. I don't see a 5'6" Marab doing much damage, at least. I think his game plan is going to just strictly be going for a takedown, man. Gonna just shoot for them legs. And as we saw from Marab's best friend, Aljo, absolutely got slept trying to go for a takedown and rushing in and got emotional or whatever you think. He just fumbled the bag. Pressure. I think Sean's way too fast, too quick. His length is there. The way he works on around the outside is absolutely beautiful. Rob is just a heavy pressure guy, and I think when he's gonna go for a takedown, he's just not gonna think about doing it calculated. He's just gonna just rush in for a takedown. I think that's how he's gonna get absolutely chinned. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I think he's just gonna get absolutely chinned by Sean. I think he's gonna get chinned in the second round. First round's gonna be a feel out round, and he's just gonna the pressure's gonna be too big for him. We see Merab doing all these crazy things, taking his stitches out with a butcher knife, and just doing all these things and blocking people on Twitter and just getting emotional with it. You know what I mean? I think it's a bad training camp for him. A lot of animosity there. But his best friend Aljo's there, and I'm sure Aljo wants him to lose because he's kind of salty. He couldn't beat Sean, and I don't know. I think it's just like a weird thing going on over there. I'm just assuming that's how it is over there. I'm sure. And if Marab beats Sean, let's just talk about if Marab beats Sean. I think the only way Marab will beat Sean if he's just like blankets him the whole time, which we saw he got up from Piotr Yan a couple times, and then he also got up. He defended the takedown well from Aljo. And Marab can't even he couldn't even hold down. He can't even hold down people. It just takes you down. He just spam fires takedowns, and he just takes down, which is that's his thing, I guess, which is cool. And he says he wants to go striking for striking with Sean, which is a terrible idea. And if that's really his game plan, yeah, he's gonna get cooked. But if it's not, if he's just capping and he's just gonna go straight in for the takedowns, because we all know his plan. If he's not gonna strike, he's just gonna take down and just tire you out for 5 rounds. And he's never been 5 rounds. Suga Sean is coming off a 5 round performance from Cheeto, absolute masterclass, which is that's a different topic by himself. You know what I mean? And Marab, he's never been 5 rounds. I'm sure his cardio's there. We've seen it before. He's a takedown monster. But he's never got a submission. He does. I think he only has. I don't know how many I don't think he has any knockouts in the UFC. He gets dropped every fight by everybody. He gets dropped. He got dropped by Henry. He got dropped by I forgot the other guy's name, Marlon or something like that. he gets dropped by absolutely everybody in every fight. And if he gets hit with one of those shots from Sean, which he's a power puncher, he has the power in his hands, in his right and his left hands, he will go to sleep. Straight up, he will go to sleep. If he gets caught with one of these openings that he gets with Reckless, keeps his hands down, takes him for his takedown, gonna get slept, hits him right on the nose. Sean's been calling it a beak, and Merab has been very salty about getting his nose getting called a beak, and he's just crashing out. His skits are funny. Merab is a funny guy, but I see it going once it's fight week. People don't really know Merab, but they're gonna start liking him, just like what happened with. I don't know. Merab is just like an interesting guy. I'm not gonna lie, he is interesting. He's a funny guy. His skits are funny, but I don't think he could really beat Sean. And if Merab wins, like I said, he's just gonna take him down 5 rounds, tire him, and just gonna just lay on top of him. He's not gonna beat him in the striking department. He's not gonna beat him in the leg kick department. He's not gonna do anything like that. He doesn't have much power like that. And if Merab wins, Dana White is gonna be, as soon as he sits on down that press conference table after the fight, he's gonna be like, "We're running the rematch back. Sean didn't look right that night. Tonight, he didn't look right tonight. We're running it back." They do not want Merab to be champion. I'll be honest. Just that same energy he gave him Bilal won. The GOAT Bilal. But yeah, as soon as Dana White sits down, he's gonna be, Sean didn't look right. He wasn't on point. Don't know what's wrong with him. We're running back the rematch early next year. That's literally what he's gonna say. That's literally what he's gonna say. And if Sean wins, let's talk about Sean for a second. If Sean wins, I would like him to go up to 45. I would love to see that. I think he will have a good shot at beating. If Ilya wins, he has a good shot at beating Ilya. If Max wins, it's up in the air for sure. It's just gonna be a boxing match, pretty much, kickboxing match. But I mean, Max does move his head a lot. He'll get punched. I don't know. That would be I would be very interested if Sean going to 45. If Sean goes to 45, wins, then he's double champ, obviously, right? If Sean goes up to 45, loses, he comes back down. While he's going up to 45, they need Umar needs to fight someone else. You cannot beat one ranked opponent and then get a title shot. And even even if he does, say Sean, if Dana doesn't like that idea, and Sean, to make Sean beat Umar, I think Sean does have a good chance of beating Umar. Umar is not a wrestler. He is a wrestler, but he's mostly a striker, which he doesn't. I don't think he's good. Obviously, he's good, but I don't think one ranked opponent is good enough to get a title shot. What's going on here? You know what I mean? Riyadh season, yeah, I know, fancy, but Dana White's in their pockets over there. But I really don't think so. Say if Sean does win, he goes up to 45 in the bantamweight division. They should fight. They should fight. Umar should have another title, like another. What's it called? A number one contender fight. At least one more, just for the peace of mind. You know what I mean? I wouldn't see why they wouldn't let Sean go up to 45. That's a humongous fight in itself. Even if he fights Ilya or Max Holloway. Um, yeah, but Ilya, you know what he means. He likes to like beat around the bush and likes to not fight. He was taking forever to take the Max fight, but Dana White, yes, last night came out with there's Max Holloway news, and people are speculating on Twitter. I saw a couple things saying that Ilya Topuria pulled out of the fight or something like that. Which I don't know. Who knows? We'll get to it when we get to it. You know what I mean? But I really like the idea of Sean going up to 45. I am a Sean fan. But if Merab wins, it's literally going to be instant rematch. That's what Dana's gonna say. Oh, Sean didn't look right tonight. Yeah, we're running the instant rematch back. Early winter next year. Um, Yeah, that's about it. And if Sean wins, maybe they do make him fight Umar. Maybe they do make him fight Umar. That'll be an interesting fight. And Khabib will be in the corner. Tim Welch on the other side. Maybe they'll just start wrestling instead. Have a wrestling match. Timbo takes him down, suplex him, spikes him on his head, like Bilal and Leon. Shout out. But yes, I think that's what could happen. If that happens, if Merab wins, it's just literally going to be a decision. That's all he is good for. He's off a 10-fight win streak, decision streak. Hasn't dropped anybody in any of those fights. Yeah, he's just. It's very hard to promote this fight. You know what I mean? Sean, I mean, he has a bunch of knockouts, so I mean, he's doing his best. People say he's not a star, which I don't know, whatever, I guess. But it's hard for Merab, the UFC, to promote Merab as just being a cardio machine, 10-fight win streak. All right, 10-fight win streak, and how many knockouts? None. Decisions. All decisions. You know what I mean? Even though Sean's coming off a decision, he gets at least one highlight clip in every fight. You know what I mean? That knee up the middle, Cheeto. Oh, no, I also wanted to touch on that. If Sean doesn't knock him out with a punch, Merab is literally going to eat a knee to the nose and just drop like a fly. You know what I mean? Which would be insane to see. I have a very hard time of thinking Merab's going to win. But it's fighting, man. Anything can happen. You know what I mean? That would be a very depressing day if Merab wins. Because I know he has no power. He says he wants to strike with Sean. He's absolutely insane for even thinking that. You know what I mean? But, you know, that's what I think. I think he's gonna get chinned the second round, not the first round, second round for sure. Sean can defend the takedowns. 5'11", 5'6", you know what I mean? The height difference is a very big issue. And he's just gonna wrestle. Everyone knows his plan. Let's talk about the other exciting fight on here. We got Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopes, the Eagle Man. Brian Ortega, the Eagle Man. You know what I mean? Khabib don't even got that nickname no more. The Eagle? Nah, it's Brian Ortega, the Eagle Man. You know what I mean? I like Brian Ortega. I also like Diego Lopes. He's a very young prospect. How old is he? I don't know how old he is. He's coming off a fight recently with Danny Ige. Danny Ige stepped up like a absolute boss. They had a good fight. I'm not gonna lie, it was a good fight. But if Diego Lopes wins, what rank is he? Is he ranked number 12? Okay. And Brian Ortega is number 3. T-City. I honestly think if Brian Ortega wins, title shot Max Holloway. Spring next year. That's literally what I think. He deserves it. Also, Diego Lopes. I mean, if he gets a win, I mean, it's very hard to argue that he doesn't deserve a title shot. I mean, he can win. He could 100% win the fight if he comes out like how Yair Rodriguez came out on Brian Ortega and just pressure. He's a powerful dude. He's taller as well. He's a couple inches in reach. You know what I mean? If he comes out pure pressure, striking at least. If he just comes out with striking, he doesn't go for a takedown, doesn't try to go for a submission, he could absolutely beat the Eagle Man himself. You know what I mean? 100%. 100%. But if T-City just is a freak and absorbs punches like how he usually does, he always takes damage no matter what. If he comes like that again and weathers the storm and just catches Diego Lopes, I think the only way Brian Ortega could win is in a submission. I'm not gonna lie. Submission is the way to go because I mean, obviously his boxing's good. I don't think he has as much power as Diego Lopes. I think he will have to take him down to the ground, or Diego Lopes takes him down to the ground, slips up, and Brian Ortega just pulls a freaking armbar, throws up a triangle, and just chokes him out. You know what I mean? Like he did, like how he just choked out Yair Rodriguez. But I think both of them deserve a title shot if they win. Vice versa, you know what I mean? Brian Ortega's dropped. I mean, his rank is number 3. I mean, it respect to Brian Ortega for taking this fight. It's a very exciting fight. He's just he's confident. I mean, obviously, if you're a fighter, you got to be confident in yourself. Diego Lopes is confident as well. He's coming off a win. That fight was supposed to happen. Brian Ortega got sick. I think the weight cut was too much for him. He thought he could cut as much weight as he did, like for the time, but it was too a short amount of time. And he couldn't do it. His body rejected it. Whatever. But I think they're both good. I think it's either gonna be a quick fight or just decision fight. You know what I mean? I'm leaning towards a finish. I'm leaning towards finish. I don't know who I'm gonna pick yet, because I like both of these guys. I like the Eagle Man. I like Diego Lopes. Good fight to put on UFC 306. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah. I mean, I think they both get a title shot no matter what. I would like Brian Ortega to win. I would like Max Holloway to win. Run that fight. It would be a fun fight to watch. I would also like Diego Lopes versus Ilia Topuria would be fire. I'm not gonna lie. The casuals wouldn't know who Diego Lopes is. They would all pick Ilia, which is okay. And yeah, that would be an exciting fight. Or even Brian Ortega versus Ilia. Personally, I would rather watch Ilia Topuria. I mean, Max Holloway versus Brian Ortega, or Diego Lopes versus Ilia, or Max Holloway would be cool too. Um, yeah, I mean, these are great fights. 2 great fights, Suga Sean fight, and then this fight, Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopes, very good fight. I mean, right there, if either of them wins, it's they get a title shot. They have to get a title shot. Dana White will give. I think he'll give Diego. He'll be more excited about Diego Lopes getting a title shot. I don't think he would be that excited about Brian Ortega getting a title shot, but they both deserve it. I would assume, in my opinion. But you know how Dana is. He doesn't make fights same night as fights, which is understandable, but it's just common sense what to really do. You know what I mean? And I do want to talk about the Contender Series this Tuesday. I don't know. It was this Tuesday. Right? Jack Duffy absolutely smacked them around in every department of significant strikes. Nick literally just laid on top of him. Like Bilal. Shout out Bilal. He just literally laid on top of him. You know what I mean? Which was absolutely disgusting. I mean, even Dana White saw it. Like, as soon as they announced the winner, he literally left, went to go talk to Jack. I mean, he did give him. He is giving them the opportunity to have a rematch week 10. I believe he said week 10. I mean, Nick did take the fight on 10 days' notice. He looked absolutely frazzled in the first round, and Jack was literally just piecing him up, head kicking him, spinning kicks, body shots, destroying his front leg, Nick's front leg, and Jack was just piecing him absolutely up. I think he won first and third round. It's arguably for the second round that Nick won that. Obviously, he looked better in the second round, but it was obviously that if you go off damage-based scoring, Jack won all day, absolutely all day. He didn't give Nick, even though Nick won, he did not give him the contract. He told him, "Hey, you guys can run it back week 10. If not, you will have another opportunity somewhere else. Maybe you come back or maybe not." But was it Sean Shelby? I think he said. Dana White said Sean Shelby said, "If no, I'm talking about a completely different fight. I'm talking about Uh, Aswell, Michael Aswell. He said, "Oh, let's talk about this fight. This fight was absolutely good. I thought Aswell won first and third round. I'm not a judge, so it does not matter to me what I think. Or does my opinion does not matter. I'm not a judge. Whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? I just have an opinion on it. I think Aswell, the third round. I think he won the third round very, um, like very easily. Not very easily, but like it was like, all right, yeah, this guy won off base off damage, but I think he had a ginormous cut on his eye. I'm pretty sure the judges were like, oh man, the guy's cooked. Anyways, this guy, Sean Shelby, said anybody falls out of the feather. What was it? What weight class is this? Am I tweaking? Oh yeah, featherweight. Yeah, I knew it was featherweight. What am had a brain fart. Anyways, he said if anybody they drop somebody, they cut somebody, anybody from featherweight, Aswell gets the contract, which is nice. I like that. But yeah, they're absolutely sold the bag on this one. The judges, at least I'm not a judge, but I hope they run it back week 10. I'm excited to see that fight. As Jack Duffy was doing some very unique things during the ending of each round, and when he started the fight, he was just laying on his back, which was interesting. Blood flow, I'm assuming, to the just getting the blood flow circulating. Even during rounds, he was laying down, like not during the fight, but after each round, he would go to his corner and lay on his back, which was interesting. It was cool to see. He's a good. He was good. He's good. He's 7-1 now. I mean, I think he's a little bit older. I don't know how old he is. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I don't want to say an age, and I don't know it. But I hope they run that fight back. I know Nick was not happy that he did not get the contract, but he really didn't do much. He got outclassed in every single department of leg kicks, head strikes, body shots. He was getting worked on the feet and on the ground. He couldn't really. He was just trying to take him down, and Jack was stuffing some of them. Did a pretty good job. And yeah, that's my opinion on this. He. I hope they remake the fight. Honestly, it was good to watch. It was good to watch. And I also want to talk about September 3rd coming up. We have this fight on the Contender Series. Tommy McMillan, Tommy Gunn McMillan is fighting Austin Bashi. 6-0, 3 knockouts, 3 submissions. Finishes in every fight, which is pretty cool. 5'11", 26. He's fighting out of Sugar Sean's fight. I mean, not fight. Tim Welch's gym where Sugar Sean trains and all that. That's why I'm talking about it. I've been watching his highlights and his videos, and yeah, he made this new series on YouTube, which is pretty cool. I like how it's edited and stuff. Um, I mean, yeah, I'm excited to see this fight. I mean, I've never watched him. I've just watched the highlights. He's coming off of all finishes in his pro career. But Austin Bashi is the number one prospect in the United States, apparently. Five decisions, 4 submissions, and 3 knockouts. He's 5'5". Okay, he's 5'5". Tommy is 5'11". Tommy's been wrestling his whole life. He's won state. He's from Montana. That's why I just wanted to I mentioned this on the Sean video because um he he's coming out of Montana. He looks pretty good from what I've seen. I've just seen he finishes. He's just fighting nobodies. You know what I mean? He's fighting people in Montana. You know what I mean? So this is gonna be really exciting to watch on the Contender Series on Tuesday. He's a featherweight in Austin Bashi. He's a wrestler, but it's decision, submission, decisions. He's coming off TKO punches. Okay, I'm just excited to see this fight. I really am. I think I'm rooting for Tommy just because from what I've seen, he looks well rounded. But I could see him having a problem with the wrestling and how short he is. I'm sure this other Austin guy is just gonna wrestle him. You know what I mean? But I did want to touch on this for a second. Tune in. I'm gonna tune in and watch this one. I'm excited for this fight. Upcoming prospect. for the featherweight division. Excited to see it. It'll be exciting for him to win and coming out of the same gym that Sean O'Malley came out of and get a contract on the Contender Series like Sean O'Malley did. It would be very excited to see. Or he gets absolutely slept. I don't know. I cannot predict the future, but I did want to touch on all this, give my opinions on the Rehab season. NOCHE UFC 306, September 14th in the Sphere in Las Vegas. That night, we throw a party because Merab is going to get absolutely chained in the second round. Okay? He's going to get absolutely chained in the second round. I'm calling it now. I'm not changing my pick. I'm keeping that pick. I'll have a prediction video when that comes up. But I'm sticking with that pick. Please like and subscribe the video. Comments if you guys want to have any other videos. I'm going to crank out another video in a couple days. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.